everyone, welcome to part 2 of this pumpkin page from Rita Berman's autumn book. Now we sort of have the raindrops, clouds, background and other details left to do. It doesn't seem like much, but I've got a few ideas, so I think it may take a little longer than it might look, but we'll see what happens. The first thing that strikes me is it's really cold in here. No, I've got goosebumps. I'm going to go and get a sweater. Hang on a minute. Right, that's better. No, the first thing that really struck me was these little tiny rainbows on top of the cloud. Now, we've got 5 arches on the first one and then 4 on the others. So it's not a proper full rainbow. And I was having a think about that. I thought I might do it in blues and maybe pick 5 blues, I know most of them are 4, and then maybe use those randomly on the raindrops as well. I thought that might be an interesting approach. So I'm going to use some sort of turquoisey, bluey type colours. I'm going to start with the cobalt turquoise. Oops, if I can get it out. There we go. It does need a sharpen, but I just show it to you first. You can go and grab it and maybe sharpen yours as well. Now, I'm not sure. I think I'll approach it so that I do all the outside arches the same. I'm going to trying to find a sharp edge, there we go, to make it a bit dark on the edge, lighter towards the middle, the same on this side. So we get a lighter bit in the centre, only a little bit. And we do it across all of them. What that means is this one will have an extra colour in the centre, and because it's such a little bit, I thought that might make more sense. I don't know, might not. I had thought about doing a pastel rainbow, which is an alternative idea, which I thought would look really cute, but I don't think it's going to really work with our sort of pumpkin autumn type theme. Even blue doesn't even really match, but I'm going to use this also for the raindrops. So I thought it would, because what other colour are you going to do raindrops? I mean silver, but even that doesn't really match orange. So I'm just going for it. So there's our top blue, and I'm going to now use that amongst this. Now, thinking we've got 5 colours to come, so we're sort of 1 in 5 needs to be this colour roughly. Going to start with this one. I'm going to try not to colour on top of the black, because I feel that that's going to sort of fade it down a bit. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat. I've just been eating a piece of bread. It's very nice, very soft, nice home milk bread. I think I'll do that one and this one. Now, I'm doing it really plain colouring because I have some finishing touches to do on my raindrops as well as on my pumpkin. So we'll see. I don't want to add too much detail on, because I could colour this so it looks more 3D, dark on the edge, lighter in the middle, but I feel that it's going to not show up very well on these ones where we've got a pattern. So I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to do it plain. I've also got to do something with the background too, which I have a few ideas for. So I've got to decide which idea to go with. I'm trying to sort of do 1 in every 5 without it looking too contrived. It's always a challenge to make something look random by planning it. If you try and do it randomly, it doesn't always work. So anyway, I'll try that. Let's see if that works. We'll see. Okay, now my next colour choice will be, is that the teal green light? What's that look like? I'm using my swatch chart to help me. No, I'm going to go with, I don't really want, that was the cobalt turquoise. I think there's a cobalt turquoise green, which is what I really want. I'm just trying to find it. There it is. Oof, it's not really very green, you see, it's quite blue. Excuse me, you'll see when I put it down. There's a bit of green in it, but not really. Oh, rainbows. I'm going to sharpen it actually, it's a bit rounded on the end there. It'd be easier to do the rainbows with a sharp point. There we go. Yeah, I was chatting to my son a bit because he was bored, but he was in between classes and there were 2 seminars and a lot of his friends were in the different one to him. So he's getting bored. Right, working through these little arches. You can see this colour is really very similar to the other one, but that is the idea. I want the colours to be fairly similar but not identical. As you can see, they're slightly different, hopefully. Now we did one of these there. We'll do that one. I'll come over here and do this one. I feel a bit coldy today. I've got a bit of a sore throat. Bit of a nose going on. I had a headache yesterday. It's gone today. Like a sinus thing going on, which is what my son said he had. But I feel all right really. But I thought if I get this page finished, then if my voice goes to pop, then it won't matter. I'll be done with the page. But actually, I won't be able to record tomorrow anyway because I've got workmen in. Although I never know what time they're going to finish. Workmen do tend to finish quite early in the day. I'm going to do the dots on this one. So we'll see. I'm not sure what their next step is in the job. They've made some big holes in the ground and put concrete in it, ready to put the supports in. A bit bare over here, aren't we? Oh well, next one. Where have we gone? We've gone turquoise, turquoise, green. Should we go teal green light? Let's go teal green light. It's a little bit greener. I think going more towards green might be better than going towards blue, but I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm assuming they're going to put the supports up, but they'll need to cement those in as well, so I guess they'll just put those in and then leave those off to go off for a few days maybe. But I don't know. I was quite interested actually because our old balcony didn't have any supports. It was supported through the house. But the balcony in the house opposite us does have supports, and the one next to it. Now the one next to it, there's 2 balconies, one above the other. I guess they both do, so maybe that's why, because of the extra weight of having 2, whereas we've only got 1. I don't know. But I'm sure the one house only has 1. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not being very observant. You can see how this is still pretty bluey. We need to do this one. Done one over on this side. Yeah, I've been taking my nasal spray, which is a sort of anti-allergy one. It's for hay fever, Beckinase it's called, for those in the UK who know one. And I use it in the winter because as soon as I close the vents on that in the house to stop the cold air coming in, I start blocking up and getting finding I can't breathe very well through my nose, so I use this spray which helps, which is good. But I need to use it a bit more. I forgot this morning. I tend to forget in the mornings. I'm in a rush, and but I don't want to. Just trying to decide whether to put, because we've got one here and one here. Could do with one somewhere around here. Got one there as well. I'll leave it for now. We can always add more. Next I am going to, am I going to use the teal green? I think so. It isn't that green. But it might just be because I'm catching my son's cold, teal green, or it might be because I need to use a bit more of the spray. I'm going to go over that bit where it overlaps. I think we sort of have a mixture of the two colours. I haven't done the rainbows, have I? Really, it's just filling in that gap. I can't really make one bit dark and one bit light. Now we definitely need one here. We've only got one colour left, so we need to, this is where we need to start planning it, making sure we won't get two colours together. Not that it matters really, I don't think. In fact, it looks like you've planned it better if you put two together. It looks like more random if you put two together, but anyway. I don't know. I think we'll put one here and one here. Look at that, and then we'll do one there. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then I'm thinking, can I pull that off? I think the jade green, I think I can just about get away with the jade green. See, the blues are just too blue, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. So I must remember to just do that bit there. Oh, I've gone back to the teal to do this one. Teal is a lovely colour, isn't it? Okay, now we're doing the jade, and it is quite green, but I think it'll work. I think it's blue enough. It will work, because maybe I should have done that centre one a different colour. Oh well. I was just, on my last video I said I'd been talking to my mum about some family stuff. I was just talking to my son about it. He thought it was hugely funny. But there we go. I was trying to entertain him while he was bored. He was a bit cross because his tutor had told him that he was doing his rough notes wrong. He's sort of done a quick chart with some info in, and she said, oh, you can't do your charts like that, you know. And he was annoyed because he'd done it in a way that he thought would help him with his revision, with sort of different colours and stuff. And she's like, oh, you've got to do it with this line and that spacing and blah. And he's like, ugh. Anyway, we'll see. Right, that is all the pencil work, I think. I'm just having a look to check I haven't lied. No, that is all the pencil work, and now we're going to do some pastel, soft pastel work for our sky. And not sure about the ground. Give it a thought while I find out my soft pastels. Oh, these are the Mungyo Pastels. Let's take them out. Now, what my plan is to turn them around here. To do the whole of the sky, just not the pumpkin, with this lightest blue, probably. Yep. But go over all of the let's move that across. Go over all of the raindrops and the clouds and everything with the blue, so that it blends it together. There, the colours become more similar. The green goes down to a blue, and yeah, the clouds. Because I've got a plan. Now you might not like this idea, so you might want to have a look at my thumbnail and have a think before you do it, or wait till the end and look at it and decide. But I don't know if this is going to be a bit too pale, but this is the palest blue that I have. And I'm going to hold my page there and just put it on. Oh no, that's perfect. And I'm just going to apply it everywhere so that it goes on top of all the raindrops, on top of all the clouds, etc. Oh, it's overlapping the page here, look. Can you see? I'm not worrying about that. I can erase that off, and actually by the time I get round to doing that opposite page, more of this might have transferred across onto that page, so I might need to erase a bit more anyway. So I'm not going to worry about that. Right now it's pastel erases off really, really easily. So yep, I'm going over the cloud. You may not want to, you may want to leave your clouds just white, and that's fine, but I find it incredibly difficult to stay outside of those lines, so I've got a different idea. So you can have a think if you like the idea or not. Excuse me. As you see, even though I'm going over these arcs, you can still see the fact that part of it is coloured in darker than the rest, so it still works, which is good news. Oh, I'm getting a dry throat. I've got a coffee next door which I can have when I'm done. A little reward cup of coffee. I just ate a delicious piece of bread. Well, I had a lunch that wasn't very filling, so I had a snack. It's very, and I'm actually going to be eating quite late tonight. Well, late, about an hour later than usual, because my one son is due home really late. The other one is due home. One son's due home an hour after our normal eating time, or about, no, not, yeah, about almost an hour. And the other one's due home an hour later than that. I think the very bottom I might not do blue, or else it'll look like it's floating in the sky, which would be a little bit odd. Now I know I said I was going to do a bit more with this. I am, so I haven't forgotten. But it is got to be done after this, because if I do it, well, if I can't put my hands on it. Right, there's our sky. It's quite blue. I mean, normally when it's raining and it's a blue sky, maybe you would rather do it grey, but I just think blue looks more jolly, and it can rain with a blue sky. Yeah, I just prefer it. For the base, I'm thinking I'd quite like a green which matches these greens, as if it's sitting on the ground. I'm just looking at my greens and I'm thinking this one's probably a good match. Let's just scrape a bit off. I think that's pretty good. Just put a little bit of green along there, just a touch. There we go. Just looks like we've got a bit of ground going on. Okay, I'm just looking. Yep, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put the lid on these pastels and put them back in their slidey case so I don't spill them, oops, all over the floor. And get out the next thing that I need. I think I want my white Posca pen next. I need to lean on something. I'm just going to grab some paper off my windowsill. Right, white Posca pen, PC1NR, and my first little job is to go around every cloud. Well, there's only two. Around the cloud edges, like that. I hope they'll stand out a bit. It's quite a pale blue though. I did this on a picture the other day and it worked really well, but the background was grey, dark grey. I don't know if you would have seen that picture yet. I'm trying to think. don't think so. It was a Kirby picture that I did. I was really pleased actually with how it came out in the end. Kirby's interesting, very daunting, and then as soon as I get started I actually find it so much easier than I thought. It's silly really. I'm feeling like this looks like I've just erased the clouds, but we're going to possibly do something a bit different as well, just to make sure they don't completely vanish. Oh, my nose wants to run. My father would say, "We'll chase after it then." Haha, dad jokes. My children say mum jokes are worse than dad jokes. My mum never told jokes. She still doesn't. Right. Look, she's not a sort of jokey type person. Right, let's do that. Right, next. Just try and make a decision. Silver glitter or white or plain glitter for the clouds? I'm thinking silver. I wasn't going to, but because they're not showing up enough, I'm going to grab this silver glitter pen. This is number 744 from the Stardust set. And I am just going to fill the whole cloud in with glitter. And it's going to really stand out now. I didn't necessarily want it to look like this, but the putting the white on's just made it disappear too much. I hear a dog barking. I'm not sure. Over the back's got a dog. Don't hear it barking a lot. Anyway, I was watching a rat in the garden. The house over the back has got a lot of stuff in the garden at the moment because they're having refurbishments being done on their house. I think a lot of people are at the moment. I think our properties are sort of, what are they, 40, maybe 35, 40 years old. And I think they're just getting to the point where they need things doing. So a lot of people are having things done. I've just noticed that our bathroom ceiling is really mouldy again. I need to do something about that. But I've got balcony being done first, so it's a bit of a worry. Especially as I don't know a bathroom fitter. When I had a leak in the shower before, I called a company. They're okay. But they were sort of emergency plumbers, not really sort of bathroom fitters. And I've got a good plumber but again, he's not a bathroom fitter. He changes your washer and fixes your leaks and all those sorts of things, which is extremely useful. And is like 5 minutes up the road as well. So very good. But he's not going to do that sort of work. Basically what we need really is a plastic shower cubicle, because my children and my husband are so tall that whenever they have a shower they get out and the water is all over the ceiling. It's partly from the condensation because they have the temperatures so high, but also I think it's partly just from where it's so steamy, and from where they're so tall, the water hits the top of their head and then sprays all over the ceiling. That's my thought anyway. And it just gets really bad. But we have got mould in other parts of the bathroom too, But I've got a new vent to extract, and that's helping the other areas, but just not within the cubicle. Having the white there is helping me to find the edges better, but because I can press against the white pen and feel it there, I would imagine it's probably a bit easier actually to leave the black there first so you can see what you're doing. But anyway, it's probably really hard for you to see. There you go, look. The light catches the very top of the paper more. My light is slightly behind my camera. I can't put it directly above or else you get a shadow. I know you're supposed to light from both sides, but I've only got one light. And oh, there's a train. So that's what I tend to do. Just see if my boys have messaged me. Nope. They might be wanting to know what train they have to get. Oh, not yet. It's too early. I think they know tonight. They just have to get to the station as quickly as possible and hope they catch the train. I think my one son gets half an hour, he has to rush on a Monday and Friday. On Thursday last week he said, I'm not going to rush, I'm going to just get the next one and stay and eat. Instead of eating my lunch on the train, I'm just going to eat it in the refectory and just chill. And I was like, that's absolutely fine. Sounds like a great idea. And it made me happy because it means that he's happy, he feels safe and comfortable there, which is always important. I know when he was young and we look around secondary schools, which are the school you change to at 11, having been at a school between 4 and 11 already, went to the open day of one school, and then when we went to the open day of the second school, he said, I feel safe here. I mean, what can you say? Well, that's your school then. He said, as soon as the headmistress started talking, I felt safe. She's not the headmistress anymore. I don't blame her. It was such a stressful situation going on. They went through all the time of school shutting through lockdown, which was quite bad. They had a lot of bad feedback from parents about it, although they did a brilliant job. There were always lessons available. Even if the teacher wasn't online, they always set lessons for them to do. And it was just, I was very impressed. But because I know some schools set no work at all for the whole time, which I thought was a disgrace. Anyway, but then they, just as they went back in, they found asbestos in the school. Firstly, part of the school was unsafe and falling down. I don't know if it was that type of concrete that's been in the news or something completely different. I've got no idea. Right, the raindrops. I want to do two things with the raindrops. I want to use my white to make a shine, and then I want to go around them and on the pattern with a silver. But I'm not going to use this silver which got the gel in. That was my original plan. But what I'm going to do is just use the clear pen, which is this number 700 Sakura, so that it's a bit different to the clouds, because I don't want it to be too samey. So I'm going to start over on this side, and I'm going to put some shine lines on the raindrops, trying to avoid the black. I won't be able to completely, like on this one. That one's going to be tricky. I'll just have to put it there. And then, as I say, we're going to put some glitter on them as well. Why not? We've got glitter, let's use it. Yes, I think after that, and the school is being rebuilt because of the problems. They had to move to, my boys had to do their GCSE exams in lockdown, so with none of the rest of the school in, they went in because the rest of the school couldn't open because of the problem with the rooms nearly collapsing and then the asbestos, and they had to do them in temporary classrooms, with none of the rest of the school in, and the headmistress had to sort of organise all of this. So I'm just doing the black lines. I'm going around the edge of that one. There's no other black lines. So this one I'm going to go around the edge, and I'm going to try and do a dot of glitter on every dot. Wish me luck. It doesn't have to be that accurate. If someone's looking hard and notices that you've missed a dot, then they're annoying. Then don't show them your artwork again. We should always only be trying to impress ourselves, and even then we need to be careful, because it's very easy to be our own worst critic. We very often are. And sorry, I'm blocking. I need to not put my hand down in the white pen. I've made it a bit awkward for myself. So on this one I'm going to try to not put the silver on top of the white, but if I do, I'm not going to notice. Now this one we only have a dotted line, so I'm going to try and follow those dots with my silver. Now you could use a blue. Actually, I had thought about using a blue for this rather than just a glitter, but I didn't remember when I grabbed the glitter that had thought about doing them blue. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Also, if I use, some of them have got quite a lot of black on, and if I did that in blue it might look a little odd. Don't know, it might have looked better. Who knows? I can't visualise, so I can't tell you. It's a car horn beeping, impatient people around maybe, although we've got traffic lights up here. Sometimes people nod off, not literally, but they don't notice the lights change, so get beeped, because certain people, as I say, get impatient. Sorry, I just had to put my tablet back on. It had gone to sleep. Need to check for messages. Make sure children aren't needing me. I think my parents worry more about their nieces now than they do about me and my sister. That might happen to me, I guess. It's hard to imagine. My pen doesn't want to write. There we go. Hard to imagine being a granny. I might not be a granny. Some people aren't. Who knows? I don't want to put pressure on my boys. I mean, they're only 18 anyway. But if I am, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. I always think, I know people who really want to be grannies, and they put a lot of pressure on their children to have children and things like that. And I think that's actually, if I want to be around little kids, you know, and look after them and nurture them, whatever, I should do something about it, not expect them to. So I should go and work in a nursery or something when I'm 80, if I haven't got any grandchildren. I think that'd be exhausting. Can't even imagine doing that now. I was reading an article about someone saying the reality of having babies. He's this person writing has two babies. I think it was 6 months and 10 months. I know that's weird ages there. Not twins. That again would be a bit odd. No, they had surrogate parents. I don't know why they did them so close together. But anyway, he's like, ah. So he said him and his partner, husband maybe, not sure, anyway, they take in turns in doing a night shift effectively, so one of them has a sleep and the other one gets up, and he was a doctor, so he's used to doing night shifts, but of course he's not used to doing a night shift and then a day shift after, which is what they're effectively doing. So quite tricky. And yes, it was with twins. Yeah, some nights I got about an hour, if I was lucky, of broken sleep. Oh, but I think I was like a zombie for quite a while. But I was okay. Because he was saying, oh, he's saying people, he's a bit of a comedian. People say, oh, wouldn't change a thing. He's like, I don't believe you. What, you wouldn't change your sleepless nights? And I agree with him. That's really hard. There are things that I wouldn't want to necessarily go through. I think the saying is wrong. If I had to go through it again, of course I would. But if I could go through it again without the sleepless nights, oh yeah, I definitely would. I'm sure everyone would. Right, I think that's all of our sparkly raindrops and clouds. But we're going to put some sparkle on the here. I'm debating whether to do a bit of green. I think I will. I have a nice green sparkly pen here. This is number 727 for those of you who might have singles or just might want to check you've got the right pen. And I'm just going to do this vine, I think, here. I think otherwise it's going to look a little bit plain. To fill that bit in, it's quite thick. And I'm going to go around the outside of the leaves. And I'm thinking, why not make it look magical and glittery? The pumpkin is the main part of the picture. It needs to look good. Now, what am I going to do with this? I'm thinking maybe I'll go around the edge, all the way around the edge. Thinking now. We'll do these dots. I'm not going to try and dot on top of the dots. I'm just going to do random dots. Yeah, I think I'm going to go over all the lines. Just because I can. Oh, just had a message from my sister. That's right, she can wait. She's about to do she's doing an MSc. It's nearly time for her class. Right, I'm going to leave that there and do this one. Now this one I've got an orange. Now, do I do every single detail? Or do I just go around the edge? I think, I want to do it all to really show it off. If you don't have my son's just answered a question I asked him about an hour ago. Nothing important. I asked him, see if you can know the answer. Who is Alecto Caro? Alecto, A-L-E-C-T-O, Caro, C-A-R-R-O-W. No. I can give you a clue. I was looking at the Royal Mail page. It was an advert for Royal Mail stamps. Royal Mail are the company that make our stamps in the UK. And they got a special set of stamps, and this is one of the people on the stamp. And they're fictional characters. And they're from Harry Potter. I was still none the wiser. There was a photo. It was a character from the film and the book. It was on a stamp with Severus Snape. And apparently Alecto Caro was a Death Eater who sided with Voldemort, was actually controlled by Voldemort, according to my son. He is a real Harry Potter nerd, he wouldn't mind me saying. These are hard. He's read the whole series quite a few times. He's read the second book, I think it's The Chamber of Secrets, at least 20 times. And he's got a very good memory, so he remembers all the characters very well. He doesn't like the films though. He's watched a couple of them. He thinks they're rubbish. I think often if you're a big fan of a book, it can be difficult to accept the film because the characters aren't going to look as you imagined. It's a shortened version and all that sort of thing. I have to say, I've watched all the films, I've read all the books. I definitely prefer the books, and I think the actors do a reasonable job. But it does annoy me that because the films came out as the books came out, I'd read the first few books. I don't know exactly what the order was, but I read the first section of books, all the books that came out before the films, and I had imagined certain characters and how I'm not very good at, I can't visualise in my head, so I didn't get a picture of how they looked, but I sort of imagined them. And then when the film came out, it wasn't how they looked that disappointed me, it was their behaviour. Certain characters I really disliked the way they were portrayed. I felt like, this is going to really bore people who don't know about Harry Potter. I felt like Hagrid was not portrayed and was very annoying in the way he was portrayed. I didn't feel sorry for him in the way you're supposed to. I just thought it was annoying. And I felt like Dobby was also really annoying and was quite annoying in the book, but even worse in the film. And that Molly Weasley was also just didn't come across as the same sort of kind person. I can hear a very loud train. Anyway, she didn't come across as, I don't know, there was something about her that wasn't as nice as the character in the book. And there's nothing to do with the actors and actresses, I don't think. I think it was more to do with the scripts. And I think it was because of the limited time. This is a really difficult one to do. You get in a film, you have to cut things out. And also they made changes and things, and then they had to adapt those through the film series, even though the book was sticking to the book. It was a bit strange. But one thing that my son said to me the other day, he said there was a big anomaly. I can't remember what it was, but it was a really glaringly obvious fault with the books as well as the films. I can't remember what it was. It was quite funny. But anyway. But he still really enjoys them. There's no doubt that I think the reason that it's so much fun finding fault with the books is because they're so well written and well researched. It's really hard to find any faults, apart from the whole missing day at the beginning of the first book, and which is really strange that it wasn't picked up by an editor or the right author. But I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the thing that he had noticed the other day. But yes, he's such a big fan. But that was that. I was asking him that question because I thought he might be bored and want to. It took him ages to answer it. I wonder if he had to look it up. He takes great joy in just knowing these things. He's got such a good memory. But I could have looked it up. So what? I thought he might know. It's quite good for him because his degree course, he has to do quite a lot of exams, and he wants to become a chartered accountant, so he needs to do even more exams. And he's got a good memory, and he knows he's lucky that he can remember things, so exams suit him. His brother struggles to remember things and hasn't got any exams on his course, I don't think. So that's much better. But his brother also doesn't like writing essays, and that's what he's got to do. So, but they were quite happy when they found out how short In fact, they were a little bit worried when they found out how short the essays have to be, because they're not sure how they can write so little. You know, it's quite difficult to keep it really concise. But, you know, they'll get there. And I can help them with things like that, you know, if they need me to and want me to. And their first year work doesn't count very much. I think the one who's doing accountancy has to get a certain mark in all his work in order to get certain credits towards his chartered accountancy exams. But the other one, his marks, the one who gets more stressed, his first year marks don't count. He just has to pass, and I see no reason why he wouldn't do that. And he knows a lot. So, right, I am really wittering on and taking quite a long time to do this, which you probably can't even see, but I'm enjoying it, so I hope it's okay. You can always, I shouldn't say this, I was going to say you can always put it on double speed or forward it on a bit if it's getting boring, and see what I do at the end. But I'm sure YouTube won't want me to say that. YouTube likes people to watch the whole video and then go on and watch another video on YouTube. And if people do that after watching my videos, even if it's someone else's and not my video afterwards, it or if you leave this video going to another YouTube video, it apparently makes them look on my channel more favourably, because it's kept you engaged within YouTube, which is their ultimate goal, is to keep people on YouTube. But I don't know whether people want to do that. I can hear a lot of noise. I guess my neighbour's moving in next door. Ooh, not too much left to go. This section here with the circles. Yeah, so what books do you like then? You know, as an adult. As an adult, Harry Potter I read when my boys were babies quite a long time ago. And it's a children's series, really. I know someone who really likes, as an adult, Philip Pullman, but he was her university lecturer, so she likes to support him as well as enjoying his books. But I don't tend to read much fiction. I've just ordered an autobiography for my Christmas present. I just fancied something different. I don't read autobiographies very often. Sometimes they're quite sad, but I think this one isn't going to be. I think it'll be... I certainly know it's got a happy ending, because I know, you know, I know what the person is doing now. I can't think of his name. He's this dancer from Strictly Johanna's. I can't think of his surname. Now, I want to do, now this bit here, I'm thinking I've got a different green. So I'm going to use the other green for the bottom flowers. This is number 729. And I'm going to use that for this. Yeah, he's called Johanna's, but I can't think of his surname. Radabe, I can't pronounce it. Anyway. So I'm looking forward to that, but I shall keep it for Christmas, because probably won't get time to read it before Christmas, to be honest. Anyway, and it'll give me something to look forward to. Not that I need something to look forward to in that sense, but it's nice having something for Christmas to open and look forward to getting. Yeah, I never understand people who open things early, Christmas presents early, because I always like to have something to look forward to on the day. But everyone's different, of course. My husband has just ordered himself a new laptop and said that'll be his Christmas present, but he's going to use it right away. Right, gold for the centre of the flower, number 703, and I'm going to try and do it on the black bits. It's a bit tricky. Holding my breath. Now these bits around here I'm going to also do with the gold, because they're sort of coming out the centre. I think it's time for my cup of coffee. Now I think I'm just going to do a bit of red around the edge of the petals just because I can. This is number 719. There's nowhere to hold the page anymore. It's either pastel or wet gel pen everywhere. I've been trying to think of what other Halloween pictures I can do. I will come up with some ideas. There we go. I should go around the berry. Right, leave it there. Okay, let's take away the piece of paper. Whoops. And zip up the book. There, oops, there's the finished page. And if I tip it, you can see the glitter on the raindrops, on the everywhere really. Obviously the cloud is much more pronounced because it's got a lot more on. But there we go. Oh, it's very sparkly. I hope you can see some of the sparkle. If I put that up there, you can see a bit more of the sparkle. So there we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a super day and happy colouring.